I know at nighttime you wild out sometimes.
Giles Production Connection.
Keep you meditated.
Tuesday nights into Wednesday morning.
Gilles Peterson, show me the money. Radio 1.
Gilles Peterson, Radio 1.
This is a special show today. It's the 20th year of Ninja Tunes.
That's right, XX.
Which is incredible. And I've got Toddla with me, Toddla T, who's, well, I didn't even realise that you'd signed to them until recently.
Yeah.
You did an album yourself a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah. So I just stepped up to the big man label that is the Ninja Tune about 3 months ago. But I knew from a long time I was going to sign, but I wasn't allowed to tell anyone.
Right.
But yeah, mate, and it's a blessing. And yeah.
So you'll be hearing from Pete Quick, who's the MD of the record label, and the originators. We've got Coldcut, I'm going to be talking to them. I'm going to be talking to some of the new artists, such as Fink. We've got a session from Bonobo, Mr Scruff in the mix. We're going to play music. I mean, it's difficult playing music for the last 20 years, because I'm just looking at a list here of artists.
It's a beast, I bet, isn't it?
It's big.
Some problems. Wait a minute, let's think this through. Got some issues we need to deal with. Fall in line, yo, that's not cool. Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's sort this out. Got some issues we need to deal with. Wait a minute, we're falling out.
Read the wrong signals, chilled when I should have run. I wish I talked a lot less, must have killed the fun. Black dots on A4, trying to make a mark wrapped up in the losing my spark for you. I ain't saying that I'm not to blame, but you act like it doesn't take two to tango. If you don't speak up, then how can a man know? Wrongs and rights make left and right turns down an alley that just might burn. That's a lesson I just might learn without the lonely heart span. Please don't let me start and take your door keys. Stop messing with my heart and pulling my leg. Once we was cool, just chilling in bed. Now you're always upset, shaking your head, yelling like a banshee, waking the dead. Come on, babe.
Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's think this through. Got some issues we need to deal with. Fall in line, yo, that's not cool. Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's sort this out. Got some issues we need to deal with. Wait a minute, we're falling out.
To begin when there's nothing left to hold, so I will sing you a song that I know that I can lead.
first artists that you kind of caught hold of on Ninja?
It would have been Roots Manuva, because I remember one of the first records I ever bought on vinyl was brand new second hand.
Yeah.
When I came to London and we met when I was about, I don't know, 15, 16.
First time I heard you was on a Rodney production.
Yeah, Mentor.
How did that happen?
Yeah, crazy. I used to work in a studio in Sheffield when I was about 19, 20. Just a studio engineer, just straight up, you know, working the kit, making cups of tea vibes. And he booked there for a week because he was living there for a while in Sheffield. So I was making his productions, just internet engineering, recording, blah, 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 blah. And then at the same time, because the job wasn't enough to make me a living, I was working in a trainer shop. He used to come in trainers. Anyone knows Roots Manuva, Rodney Smith, he knows he's a very fly guy. So he was buying trainers on the reg. So he came in all the time. I was like, how's it going? Yeah, nice to see you. That's the only way I had contact with him, was selling trainers. So then one day he comes in and he's like, got any beats? I'm like, oh, wow. And then he came around my yard, which at the time was Mum and Dad's house. And we did it in my mum and dad's house in the attic while they were watching Coronation Street. I put the microphone in the wardrobe and we did 3 tunes and 2 became singles. And obviously at the time I was like kind of used to working with him because we'd engineered, but still turning around in my grotty teenage bedroom and seeing him next to me boxer shorts was quite a deep moment. So I rinsed it, got some dub plates off him, did a load of tracks, and then we've worked ever since. So yeah, absolute madness way of starting to work with someone. But yeah.
Which track should we play first from you that you produced for him?
Can we play one that's not like an obvious choice? Can I play I'm a New Man?
Let's play I'm a New Man.
Yeah.
Right. Toddla T producing
Roots Manuva.
And then I tell you what we'll do after that is we'll hear from Pete, who is basically the CEO of Ninja Tunes.
Cool.
And see what he's got to say about the label 20 years later.
Whiskey man, Mr. Frisky man. Better known, said we living life risky man. Been off of the scene, I know you missed me man. Some of them want come for this the man. 2 say I got me a couple of grand. International dap tour to this deadline. Like what? We running things popping hot. It ain't what we do or what we got. It's just simply the way we stuck. We got things on pop like ready to drop like man, a real dude, shake and moving. Each time we touch, we're gone, got improve things. The voice of the voiceless, voicing things. Giving thanks and praise for a choice of things. Judge a blessed, do testify, and I won't let the stress get the best of I. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Now bless my things, you can't test my things. Each time I come with progression things. Circumstance and condition is due to bring a little snag, a little setback to some of the program. Those ain't my spars and I don't really know man. Root Manuva me, he. Born and he raised down in the LC. But I'm that uncle traveller, I travel around. I got baby mamas in plenty of towns. Not that I'm wanting to expose my business, but we stay true to the pattern of shizness. The real and fulfilled, constantly. Sack my monument, now they wanna punch for me. Sack my monument, now they wanna punch for me. Genuine design, that's the DAP. Live wire refined in the facility. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Intergalactic pattern of foresight with more nights round the mic device, and it's somewhat suffice to say that we'll wake up in the morning and we'll kneel and pray. We can't take shot for granted. The chances devil make advances, so we proceed with a need to be akin to such activity. Like nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man. Nobody heard of me, I'm a new man. I'm brand new man.
My role's to make sure that we're putting out good music and that we don't go bust. Really, those are the two things to make sure that the money flows okay in and out to our artists, and make sure that we're choosing good artists. It's not that I choose them all or find them all or work with them all. There are lots of people here who do that, and obviously lots of people have ideas. Matt and John have always got ideas about things we should be doing, the way we should do them, and who we should sign and things like that. So yeah, it's a joint effort.
What is the setup here? I mean, in terms of how many staff, is it just records you put out? Do you do other aspects to Ninja that we don't know?
Well, the main thing we do is put out records, really. We're just a music company. We don't have a film company. I mean, we do make videos, and obviously some of our artists do audio-visual projects, but mainly we're just a record company and a music publishing company. So yeah, we'll be putting out records and then working to sync them to films and other things. And so there are 20 people here. There's about 4 people who work for the publishing company. There's about 4 or 5 people working on sort of promotion and marketing and different things, and then international people and accounting people and all sorts. Yeah. There are so many albums we put out which have made an enormous difference. The first Cinematic Orchestra album was a big deal for us because it was a whole new direction, and the first Coldcut album was obviously a massive deal, it being Matt and John's label. And there are so many things. The last Amon Tobin record was a real moment for him, moving into a whole new kind of way of making music. And I don't know, Run Come Save Me by Roots Manuva, I mean, I don't know, it's just a real moment for us and for British music.
Yeah. How many records have there been on Ninja Tune? What reference numbers are you up to?
We're up to 160 albums, and singles we're up to nearly 300. Yeah, so and Big Dada, they work it out a different way, but yeah, I guess they put out sort of 50, 60 albums or something.
Oh, so that you're not including those in the Ninja Tune?
No. So and Big Dada's obviously it is part of Ninja Tune really, but it's very separate. Obviously, it's Will's vision, and so I guess altogether there must be 250 albums, I suppose. Yeah, lots and lots of. There's 6,000 tunes altogether, I think.
And is everything available still? If I wanted to get the Ashley Beadle remix of Conscious by DJ Food, can I get it?
Yes, you can, I hope. Yeah, well actually there are 4 versions of that, aren't there?
Consciousness.
Yeah, Consciousness. There are 4 versions of that. That was amazing when he delivered that. We asked him to do a mix and he came back with 4. It was like, oh my god, which one do we use? So of course we put them all out.
So that was Pete from Ninja Tunes. This is Gilles Peterson, Radio 1 with Toddla T. We're just enjoying, celebrating Ninja Tunes.
20 years deep right now.
Absolutely. Now, they had a big party the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, they've had a load actually. I'm actually going to America to 3 parties. New York, LA, San Francisco, Blitz, and then come back for 2 days and we go to Japan 5 days.
But hey, they've also put out this box set, which is confusing. There's a lot of stuff around.
Yeah.
Is there any tracks that have you got some tracks?
I've got 2 tracks on it. I've got 1 track with Miss... No, in fact, I've got 3 actually. I've got one with Miss Dynamite, who I Want You Now, and I co-produced Roots Manuva's track It's On, and then I've got there's a 7 inches in there as well. The CD7 posters, stickers, every whole works, and I've got a track on a 7, which I did in Jamaica last year with a female vocalist called Double K. And so I got 3 tracks on there. So I'm really happy to be involved in that.
It's a very good, beautifully presented set. And you had the chance to continue doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And what made you want to go and sign to a label with an identity?
I just found the connection with Ninja Tune and Pete and all the staff there just totally normal and natural. And being on a label, you can be on the biggest label in the world, or you can be on at the smallest label in the world. It's all about the relationship with the people at the label. So it's a perfect thing for me.
Great. Well, listen, what we're going to do right now is we're going to play out a mini mix of some classic, old school Ninja Tune stuff by the man who did our drum and bass mix earlier on this year, Alex Patchwork. We've also got a Scruff mix coming up, and we've also got Bonobo in session. But let's start straight in with this Alex Patchwork Ninja Minimix, starting off with Quantum Projects.
Gilles Peterson Radio.
Dead.
Yeah. To the beat, y'all.
Check it out.
Come on. To the beat, to the beat, y'all.
Check it out.
Come on. All right?
Yes.
Good. Now here we go. So listen very carefully.
Some noise.
taste a little strange to you?
brother, think, got it, think, got it, think, got it, think, got it.
Minimix, Alex Patchwork, Ninja Minimix Special Edition, Ninja XX, Radio 1 with me, Gilles Peterson. You heard Quantum Projects, Dynamic Syncopation, Wagon Christ, DJ Food, London Funk All-Stars, couple more from DJ Food, The Herbaliser, Funky Porcini, some DJ Vadim, some Mr Scruff. Yeah, Mr Scruff's been there from pretty much the very beginning, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's like original Ninja staple to me, really.
But the true beginners were Coldcut. They're the ones who would making music. In fact, I think they were making music before they set up the label as Coldcut. I remember Jonathan Moore from doing his meltdown parties in Deptford back in the day, and I spoke to them. I spoke to Jonathan and Matt, the originals from Ninja. This is what they said.
Radio 1.
There's three of us. There's me and John who started it. We're Coldcut. But Peter Quick came on board 17 years ago, my God. Yeah. And he's been pretty much running the label since then with the Ninja Tribe. So big up to Pete for actually pulling us through all these years.
So looking back on 20 years, do you want to just give me a little bit of a sort of how it started off, what made you start the record label, how you two met, and how you feel it's developed, and how excited, motivated you still are in 2010?
Sure. I mean, you know, there's 20 years to cover. We don't want to waffle on about it. Coldcut's early history is known. John and I met in a record shop, a second-hand record shop, which is where, you know, heads who are interested in music meet, Reckless Records, and we decided to make a record together, and that was Say Kids What Time Is It, which Jay Strongman called the first record to give London club culture an identity, which is a decent big up. Eventually we got signed, and then we found ourselves in the music business, and we didn't like it because they wanted us to just keep cranking out the same blueprint of hits like Doctor in the House, and we weren't up for that. We wanted to be experimental, and so there was a conflict there. And we were on tour in Japan with Norman Cook, Beats International, and it was such a explosion of kind of new ideas and input, and we both, John and I, had fastened on the symbol of the ninja as a useful kind of archetype and a cartoon figure that we could use, and we started Ninja Tune as an alternative identity to get out of the sausage machine music business morass that we found ourselves in. So it was really started to release our own music under different names, and the first names were DJ Food and Bogus Order. And we didn't want to do just one type of music. We wanted to play with all the eclectic styles that we loved and all the samples that we loved, and found that we had a good time pasting together. But after a while we found we attracted other artists who were into that sound and also looking for a label with an independent and alternative viewpoint, and Ninja Tune's grown from there.
I mean, the incredible thing for me anyway, as a sort of radio music fan person, is that I've played Ninja for 20 years. Every year I've played at least one release on Ninja, heavily. I mean, there were phases that I didn't quite get certain things, and that's like any record label, and then eventually you do get it. Some of the stuff was way ahead of its time, other stuff was much more reflective of what I was into at the time, and the labels always managed to stay contemporary and stay vital. In terms of that, how do you two sort of work the label? Do you have A&R people who help you out, or is it still very much what you're both into? How does that whole choosing what gets signed to Ninja, how does that come about?
John and I kind of established our own taste as a bit of a culture at Ninja Tune, and really, if you ask the artists on Ninja Tune what we've got in common, is hip hop. That's proven to be the single most kind of powerful, vibrant root that everything else has sprung off from. Everyone who works here and who has worked here has had an input into what we do. It is something of a tribal family vibe, and the people who work here are not just apparatchiks working in a business, they're all music heads and lovers, and some of them in fact have gone on to turn that into a music career themselves, like Jason Swinscoe, who is Cinematic Orchestra, who's, you know, it's a fairy tale really, and Cinematic of kind of from that first record have established themselves as kind of world players on the cool music scene. I'm sure you've supported their stuff as well, right?
I have quite a few interns who get signed to the label. Emeka is another one who works for us, and also I think once you've got a certain roster, that attracts other artists, and then through the artists that we have as well, they tell us about or attract other artists, so and projects kind of morph, like Andreya, Triana and Bonobo, for example, and Andrea's solo album, which is one of my favourites at the moment.
In the capital of the nation, there's a brand new sound sensation. It's gonna be a revelation, gonna show you what I mean. They call it the EU freeze, play it pretty as you please. Beating on the drum keys, rocking on the go-go scene. Yes!
Ollie, get the party! That's the key!
I think Ninja Tune's benefited from being a DJ's label as well. You know, we really came from DJing, and the DJing attitude is about having a broad taste in music and about seeking out new stuff constantly. It's not just about you making your own music. You keep fresh by seeking out what's going on, keeping up with what's going on, and so that's been a big advantage to us as well. I think if you look at some of the most successful artists on the label, like Mr Scruff, like Kid Koala, like DJ Food, you know, we came from a love of DJing and a love of finding that new tune.
Looking back at what DJ Food did, the DJ Breaks records, the Jazz Breaks records, they were crucial, essential bits of vinyl for every DJ at the time, still now I'm sure. Just to kind of give everybody an idea of Ninja Towers, where we are right now, it's kind of like we're in South London. You've got your one main room, which is a shared office basically, so there's just stuff, lots of people working, like it looks like there's a dozen people down there, then you've got a kitchen or something, and then we're upstairs in this sort of conference room, shall we say, and with a big old TV in here and stuff, and I just get the feeling there's been an awful lot of proper music meetings in here. Is this the room that it all goes off in?
There's been a lot of heavy chilling out in this room, I can tell you. Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's tastefully decorated with years of old posters. Makes the best wallpaper.
This is the room where it's too late to go home. We can go to Ninja. There's a room upstairs. We can sleep on the couch, right?
That does happen, yeah.
That's for the hardcore ninjas.
How many people get the keys? Does Roots Manuva have a key to the Ninja offices?
If he's a ninja, he doesn't need a key anyway. Do you know what I mean?
That's where the technique of transforming oneself into a diaphanous sheet and just slipping through the keyhole comes in useful, you see. So if you need to have a key to Ninja Tune, you won't get in. think if you look at any of the artists on Ninja Tune, that each of them has a character that's manifested in their music and in their story, and each one's individual. I'd say, cinematic has just become such a powerful force nowadays. That is an amazing, as I say, fairy tale, Ninja Tune, where fairy tales come true. But I like all our artists, and Amon stayed hard all these years in different guises, and Kid Koala is another favourite son of Ninja Tune, definitely. Got to say, Roots Manuva is a personal favourite, and it was just so needed for someone to come forward like that and put up the flag for UK rap in a totally convincing way that wasn't a fake American accent and a load of cliches. And he's just such a brilliant lyricist and such a unique character. I love him.
Yeah, you had Diplo as well.
Yeah, early on the Diplo thing.
Mike Ladd.
Yeah.
Infesticons. I'm looking around, there's so much stuff, you always get surprised by another artist. Wagon Christ.
Yes. Yeah.
Luke Vibert, do you remember that album Fat Lab Nightmare? He's another one who's managed to keep himself interesting all his time in different guises.
DJ Vadim
as well. I mean, that track with Sarah Jones, that's definitely one of the Ninja high points. That record got banned for being kind of too sexual in its connotations. Couldn't believe that. I think we won that battle though. It was a big campaign and it got reinstated. We will never give up trying to take it on and take it further. So that's Ninja Tune's promise for the next 20 years.
Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Will not happen between these thighs. Will not happen between these thighs. The real revolution ain't about booty size, the Versace's you buys, or the Lexus you drives. And though we've lost Biggie Smalls, baby, your notorious revolution will never allow you to lace no lyrical douche in my bush. Your revolution will not be you killing me softly with Fuji's. Your revolution ain't gonna knock me up without no ring and produce little future MCs. Because that revolution will not happen between these thighs. Your revolution will not find me in the backseat of a Jeep with LL, hard as hell. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. And doing it and doing it and doing it well. Come on now. Your revolution will not be you smacking it up, flipping it, or rubbing it down. Nor will it take you downtown or humping around. Because that revolution will not happen between these thighs.
Gilles Peterson.
Gilles Peterson.
I can't believe how much these guys have done. What I think is amazing about Ninja is that they've just stayed really consistent. It's funny how Ninja also go through their little phases.
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentally, they're just an acid jazz record label.
Yeah, right at the sort of core. Yeah, definitely.
And then trip hop.
Yeah.
And then they kind of went into the whole sort of turntablism thing.
Yeah.
And then I think a big thing happened when they brought in the hip hop and they set up the Big Dada record label, right? Which is probably more where you're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And are you going to be on the Big Dada or the Ninja Tune?
Ninja. It's Ninja Stoke Girls, which is my little collaboration.
Okay, Toddla T, GP, we are just celebrating 20 years of Ninja Tunes. You just heard Coldcut talking about the history of the record label, and we're going to get into some other new artists here. There's some other artists that you've signed up with. It seems there's new renaissance.
Yeah.
Ninja Tunes.
I mean, all I do is put out one-off tracks. It's not actually the artist that has signed down, but I know that Dad have just signed Dells, I've known for a while. He's wicked. His videos, his visuals are equally as good as his music. And also, they signed an artist called Bang On. I don't know if you heard him yet. He's a Scouse rapper. Sounds like this. Bang On komt and it's proper. It's got a right vibe. We only had one tune, but it's so different. And so they're the two new guys that I'm watching and thinking, yeah, they're doing a lot right now.
Yeah, we start marking amazement, we start writing a raven, making lads drop cans to the pavement. So many beer cans of sound you're making, mistakenly thinking of bringing back the bacon. That makes them making scandalous backstage. Blue cause I've never been a black. Say I'm in a red, I'm mixing me breads. I kick a rat from here to ever in a back. Then I say I never get it back, that's that flashback. So when I defense attack, I'm making peanuts, stay spinning at a track. Smack rap to you, there's a fed in a cap. I was getting with the terrorism act. This scores, it's yours, it's just the justice. No justice, bullshit to discuss. Got one wish upset. politely fam, while I'm feisty, you'll get off clock, not a steady on chaps. My kick sag, stereo blast. Surely to God, he can't get me on that. So streetwise, wouldn't be surprised. Hold on a minute till you let me on.
Am I even here? Is this all a dream? Is this an out man didn't eat any cheese? When I get to heaven, will I leave the keys under a map made of clouds so the devil mislead me? I'm steadily breathing. In and out like bank robbers fleeing the scene. Grandson bought me flowers, but the roses are bleeding. I see death is approaching and it's blurring my screen. And I'm thinking out loud, but they can't hear a word. In the afterlife, will I come back as a bird? Or will I be homeless, left to rot on the curb? My grandchild won't know me. What will he learn about his granddad? Can't kick bull with the little lad. Can't take him to school, act the fool with the little lad. My heart hurts, I'm feeling sad. On my hand, I ain't coming back. And sometimes my life will influence my dreams, and sometimes my dreams will influence my life. And I don't like what I've just seen. I've just seen life through my granddad's eyes. I can't imagine how he must feel to see his family crying, clutching his palms. I just wanna go back to that one moment when me and him were dancing in that garden path. How long till I wake up with you? If I do, we can start again. Will I wake up? Will I wake up with you? If I do, we can start again. Will I wake up? Will I wake up with you? If I do, we can start again. Will I wake up? Will I wake up with you? If I do, we can start again. People wanna know just how old I was when I left home. People wanna know just how old I was when I hit the road. People wanna know, they wanna know just how old I was when I left the comfort zone. People wanna know, gotta walk on my moccasin. They wanna know if it's paying dividends. And if it's time well spent, find out at the end, at the Q&A. And it's only time.
Hi, this is Fink from Ninja Tune, and you're listening to Ninja's XX Special on Radio 1. One of the first things Peter said to me, Ninja's long-suffering CEO, was, you got to go live. You know, I didn't anticipate that at all from Ninja Tune. It's a DJ-based label when I started, and Peter's like, well, you know, you're going to do an album, we're not going to put it out unless you can play live. And it's like, right, I joined at the moment when that kind of decision was made as a label. You know, if you can't play live, then to be honest, we'd rather put out acts that do, you know. because you sell a lot of records that way, and you get paid and you don't moan all the time because you're getting money, so you earn money. So I kind of joined then, and I still got the tail end of the DJ thing, but 96, 97 was really the peak of that, and it was awesome. Those nights in the Blue Note were so awesome, sweaty and cool, and the dress code was just whatever. It was just about the music and all those 90s clubbing cliches, but it was all true, and some amazing nights down there. N-Tone, which was the more electronic-y label that I signed to at the time, was really interesting because Peter was getting in so many good demos, but none of them were quite album material. And I think Ninja spotted early that maybe singles and 12 inches wasn't necessarily the way to sustain putting out good music. We need to maybe cut down to album artists. It makes it a bit easier, on everyone. So I was kind of last in, I reckon, before that door was closed. But totally different scene back then. You could sell 12 inches with nothing on them, and you'd sell a ton of them. Record where I realised this Ninja Tune thing was not just a fun hobby that was really cool and got you laid. It was actually, you can buy that car you want, theoretically, from doing this, was when Cinematic Orchestra played the Barbican on their Man with a Movie Camera tour. Because, in my memory anyway, that was the first time a Ninja Tune artist had kind of got a sold-out show at a venue like the Barbican, where it's like 2,000 people, it's sat down, and it's the friggin' Barbican, so it's gonna be fancy. So all the ninjas came to it, all the artists blagged tickets, everyone dressed up, looked smart. Strictly Kev had like ninja cufflinks, and it was a ninja thing happening, and the gig was amazing. And the visuals obviously were stunning. It was a seminal moment in Ninja's history anyway, as a record, and everyone came out of that gig going, wow, alright. And when Jay played the Albert Hall, he's still trailblazing the way, as in, if you really push it, you could do the Albert Hall, if you really work hard. But I would say Man with a Movie Camera was, because it kind of melted all of Ninja's things. The DJing thing, the dancing, the jazzy vibe thing, the live element, the visuals, turning an event into something slightly more than you're just dancing to some guy playing records, which is awesome, but just in case that's not your thing, here's something to look at, and a seat, nice comfy seat, So I'd say that. What's your favourite Ninja record then, Giles? On the mic.
No pressure.
My favourite, I think it probably is Cinematic Orchestra, because they became the first. I mean, also Rodney, Roots Manuva stuff. Very good. But I think I probably listen to Cinematic more naturally now. Still, it's one of those records, isn't it? All their records, I mean, that's the type of music it is, but they went from, I mean, the first record I ever played, Jubilous, I got it, I was just started working on Radio 1 at the time, and it was a white label by this group called Cinematic Orchestra, another latest 12-inch from Ninja, and I played it at the wrong speed, and it sounded great, but I played it at the wrong speed. It was really long, because I played it at 33, it must have been cut at 45.
15-minute
Yeah. I'd say probably cinematic orchestra is music that really I grew up with here on this show, in a way. From the beginnings of me being on Radio 1, they had the first album that came out, and it's just been amazing to see how they've grown and sort of taken over the whole world. Obviously shows at the Royal Albert Hall and really highly regarded, aren't they?
Yeah, proper quality. Like you say, the shows at places like the Royal Albert Hall and mad like theatres, and it's real kind of, you know, classy business with they deal with. No little basement vibes on them ones. They're pure like little I don't know what you say really, just like a classy quality high-end business they run with.
Yeah, you can't be booking them in a small venue anymore.
Nice, not happening.
They come with visuals and truckloads of equipment. So that was a couple of tracks from Cinematic Orchestra, and you know what, I want to give you some Mr Scruff, because apart from being a great producer and having had loads of big songs that you didn't even realise he'd done, I mean, he's had some big tunes, but apart from that, he's a brilliant DJ.
Yeah,
and that's what I love most about him, because even back before he was producing songs, he was always the one who'd write. I remember I used to run Talking Loud, and we'd send out records for review, and he would always send me, I wish I'd have kept them all. He used to send me back the review sheets for all the songs. So he'd send a 12-inch, and you'd say, you'd have to rate it, that felt back before the MP3. And he'd always send back, he'd be the first DJ in the world to send back perfectly written responses with little doodles.
I think he's still, people at Piccadilly Records say he still goes in every other day checking out the racks, doing a proper music lover.
Yeah, proper music lover. I think he's the perfect person to give us a Ninja Mix right now.
Definitely.
Gilles Peterson.
BBC Radio 1.
think of life without music. Silence the whole day long. Ears that don't hear rhythm. Words without a song. Just don't know what to do. How could I live out my day? Would I be getting up, pushing my life away? When the drums come calling, the bass line pulls you in. Sounds of regal splendor, fit for a king and queen. Secrets of the universe, the mysteries of life, and the things that don't make sense all come clear 'cause the music takes me Music takes me Yes, music takes me up. Now that we have the music, there's no turning round. Captured in the moment, all lost in the sound. There's a brand new feeling, yes, something has begun. Brings us all together, moving now as one. When the drums come calling, the bass line pulls you in. Sounds of regal splendor, fit for a king and queen. Secrets of the universe, the mysteries of life, and the things that don't make sense all come clear 'cause the music takes me up. Music takes me up. Yes, music takes me up. Music takes me up. Music takes me Music takes me up. Music takes me up. Music takes me up. Music takes me Takes me up, takes me up, music takes me up, music takes me up,
listening to Ninja in the mix with Mr Scruff, doing it his way.
in the sea, fish 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 in the sea.
I expect you'd like to know about frogmen. Yeah.
They live on fish and catch them by diving onto them from a great height. Deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, gliding down through the dark green water. He could breathe underwater because he had amphibious nostrils. On the way down, he passed hundreds of trout of different sizes. Trout are freshwater fish and have underwater weapons. Trout are very valuable and immensely powerful. Keep away from the trout.
Why should it be that the fish in the sea are all unable to sing?
listen to me, young fellow. What need is there for fish to sing when I can roar and bellow, bellow?
Eating fish. Eating fish. Fish. Eating fish. Too fine fat.
Scruff Ninja Mix. That's right, Ninja XL Special Edition here on Radio 1. Full track listing, bbc.co.uk/radio1.
are ready to jam. To all of you people that are ready to jam, scream it out and say, I am. To all of you people that are ready to jam. To all of you people that are ready to jam, scream it out and say, I am. To all of you people that are ready to jam. To all of you people that are ready to jam, scream it out and say, I am. Hit it! And you're dressed to kill, somebody say Sugar Hill! Sugar Hill! Sugar Hill! Hit it! See us up my back, it's around my neck. Woo-ha! Got the motor check. Woo-ha!
track listing for this mix is available bbc.co.uk/Radio1, and we couldn't do a show without a session today, and we've kept this one back actually because I don't know if you remember, but we spoke to Bonobo a while ago and we were saying that we wanted to get him in session, but we wanted to get him in session after he toured so that it wasn't one of those pre-sessions where they're still warming up the band. So he basically went out, did loads of dates all around the world. We got him into Maida Vale, and this is brilliant. 2 songs from Bonobo. We're going to start off with The Keeper featuring Andreya, Triana.
Live in session from Maida Vale
on Gilles Peterson Radio 1.
That I don't need her, 'cause every time I call, she's sitting sweeter. When I know she's there to keep near her, but I'm feeling cold and I must leave her. I'm sat down here with my head hung down, and I just seem to find bit of peace, bit of love, bit of something left behind. Sat down here, best intention, nothing said, nothing lied. Bit of peace, bit of love, bit of something left inside. To please her, happiness is on her face. It's not mine that greets her, and only my disgrace to admit I need her. But we all fall from grace, so dust me down and keep her. I'm sat down here with my head hung down, and I just seem to find bit of peace, bit of love, bit of something left behind. Sat down here, best intention, nothing said, nothing lied. Bit of peace, bit of love, bit of something left inside. We can go on
from Bonobo, from his brilliant album as recorded just recently, and of course a member of the phenomenal Ninja Tune record label, which has got a couple of subsidiaries, including Big Dada. Tell us a bit about Big Dada, actually, Toddla.
Well, Big Dada basically is obviously, like, as you say, a sub-label within Ninja. I know literally they are beneath the offices there at Ninja. It's like literally a little office downstairs, which kind of is what they're about. They are a more refined sound down there. It's more hip-hop based, but it's by no means straight up hip-hop. I remember seeing new Flash Order videos on MTV Raps and that when I was like about 14, growing up and all that. And the sound was so refined and so UK, but so kind of sort of genuine. It wasn't like, say, like when British hip hop kicked off, and to me it was like a take of American music. The whole Big Dada thing, like the new Flash and your Rodney, which it was reggae, it was rave, it was hip hop, it was British, it was indie, absolutely everything. And it's such a refined sound that they created.
No, it's true though, because I remember all these record labels in the UK were desperately trying to break a British hip hop artist, and nobody could manage it. But Will Ashen, Big Dada particularly, they've just kept at it. Not much hype, just delivering songs. And it's probably worth going back through your catalogue and listening to some of those, because they also signed some mad French things.
Yeah. And they did a compilation called Bounceman, which was like everyone coming together to make records, and it was that whole thing I was talking about of it being a bit of this and that, and it just being totally mental, like British music. It was so like playable for me as a DJ, and playing it next to sort of like jiggier stuff.
Let's see what Will Ashen's got to say about it.
I was working as a music journalist before, and was kind of, I wanted to set up this label thing, and was talking to my girlfriend about how I could maybe do that, and obviously I didn't have any money, and who I'd speak to. And I'd met Pete, I'd interviewed him once for Music Magazine years ago, 95 or something, and I'd met him at a mutual friend's wedding reception once, just bizarrely. And Pete struck me straight away as the kind of person you could go to with an idea, and he wouldn't be too cool or snooty with you. He'd just sort of say, "Oh, that sounds interesting," and either he'd say, "Oh, it's a terrible idea," but you felt like he'd be straight with you rather than making you feel like an idiot. And so I came and had a meeting with Pete at our old office down at Winchester Wharf. We went for a half of Guinness, I think, one afternoon at the pub just up the road, and talked to him about it. And he was like, "Yeah, that sounds interesting." And I said, "Oh, and I think," because I knew Luke Vibert a little bit, I said, "I think he's going to produce the first couple." He's like, "Oh, right, okay." That was the point at which he became properly interested. And I think really, at the start, it was very much a sort of a singles-based thing. It was like one single at a time. We'll see how it goes. If they sell all right and get a good reception, then we'll keep going with it. And I think it was only when I spoke to Rodney Roots Manuva about doing a record, and he was like, "Whoa, I don't want to do any more singles. I've done loads of singles. I want to do an album," in classic Rodney style. And I went back to Pete, and he's like, "Oh, Roots Manuva, oh, wicked, okay." And so that's when Rodney was the thing that elevated it from being a singles thing to an album-based situation, I guess.
And then you went on to do,
obviously, Roots Manuva, Thai in the UK, Speech to Bell, Wiley recently, Mike Ladd's Infesticon's project, Diplo, Spank Rock, all kinds of people really over the years. Yeah, it's been the longer you keep going, the longer the list of names gets.
Yeah.
I'm slowly building up a savings every day, although it's hard to save when you're getting low pay. I stopped shorting, so my days are kinda quiet. I quite like it, the less violent, with less lions. I put in extra effort, change up the gear when I got the stars up and I'm staring them. I'm staying clear with them, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. It's unnecessary for the name to leave my mouth. Look, words are power, so I manifest a form. Everything I think is what I thought, and everything I thought is what I feel. Everything I feel is who I am. A woman with nothing's ruined, yeah. I got a half cup of hope and I'm sipping slow. No more standing on that road, that shit is old. I got no time for time, wasting time is precious. I only got time for studio sessions now.
put out the first Diplo album as well?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Wes. I think Wes was in Japan at the time. I can't remember what he was doing. I never really got to the bottom of what he was doing out there. He claimed that he was a street boxer or something. Although my suspicion is he was just teaching English. But who knows? You know, the truth may be somewhere in between. Maybe it was street boxing and English together. And he read an interview with me in some Japanese magazine where I'd said something stupid like, "I'm looking for the next wave of avant-garde dancehall," like you do when you're doing stupid interviews. And he went, "Oh well, that's what I'm making." So he sent me a load of demos. I mean, this was 2001, 2002, and when we ummed and ahed for ages, because I was like, well, it's all instrumental, whereas we only really release vocal records. He said, well, I'm going back to Florida soon, I've got some MCs there, I'll make you a vocal record. And then he got back there and they'd moved away, or it didn't happen for whatever reason. Eventually I just said, oh, sod it, let's do it as it is. So yeah, we did his first album, which came out 2004, I don't know, 2005, yeah. So we're the first people to bring him over to DJ, etc, etc. So yeah,
look at him now.
I know. Doesn't return my calls. I don't think he ever returned my calls actually, but there we are.
Radio 1 with Gilles Peterson.
I thought it was really good that they got a Mercury Prize last year.
Yeah, it's amazing, wasn't it? And just completely like you say, no hype, just bam, got a Mercury. Alright, cool. Anyway, let's get back to work.
Yeah.
Mad.
And Speech to Bell's about to do a new album as well, which will be interesting to see what she comes up with. And it's good to hear all that new stuff coming out. What's happening with you, wise, in terms of releases? Is it going to be coming out soon?
Yeah, I'm just literally finishing the record at the minute. I've been making it since I did my last one.
That's brilliant. And have you got any little specials running about unmixed yet?
What, like an exclusive? Ooh, I have to speak to Pete.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tell your boss man you're beautiful. And this one Mr. See me never come for this. You want to understand when duty calls. How you happy does I take up them things, and I shot them things, and I risk them things, and I plot them things. Take them things, can't escape them things. Violate them things, elevate my king. Put your foot up on the brake, baby, stop and breathe. Learn from the burns of your history. The boss of abilities exceed infinity. So where you really wanna be, 'cause I know you can fly. And I know you can rise. I know you can fly. And I know you can rise. Most about us something fat posing in the magazines and on the it's a shame. And I ain't judging nothing, but I know it ain't your dream and it won't take away your pain. So she really have to do a little dirt and hustle a little work and free up in the skirt, but it's not free up from the earth. We make who we are, we break who we are, can't escape who we are, elevate who we are. I know you can fly. And I know you can rise.
I was born and raised in the slumber of a city, in a one-room shack, one shirt on my back. I said Papa mistreated my mama and left her stranded. 'Cause I'm not afraid to say I wasn't sent to school. So I go right here in oppression. A man without no education. So I'll face great tribulation. I just wondering what will be my yeah, la 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 la. Hey, poverty and frustration that makes me right here a bitter man. Lord, 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 say poverty.
Alright, let's finish off this 2 hours Ninja Tune celebration by, you mentioned Roots Manuva as being probably the main reason you were there, and one of the bands that have had the biggest impact on my broadcasting career, all that stuff is Cinematic Orchestra. So let's put them together. Wow. And let's come up with the classic track. Yeah. Toddla, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
As if we're used to the shaggy. We made our beds and now we hate where these beds be. Took nothing at all to part this Red Sea. I'm a shackled child, singing the good song of freedom. They've got no pride, they interrupt our grieving. Teardrops dropping for the pain of the world. My best friend dies when she was just a young girl. Left me here to fend for myself, now the pain never leaves. We just learn to cope, so when the devil needs hanging, will you tie up the rope and shout, pull? Let's put an end to this bull Zen thing. How many years before we practice what we preach? How many tears before we truly clinch the peak? Only to find that there is no honey on the moon. Official goon with the unofficial croon.
I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when and I'll take it till my tard is. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest? I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when and I'll take it till my tard is. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest?
16 bar cycles, heartfelt recital. From the wacky blacky man, they should've called me Michael. Look at the monster you made, look at the monster you pay. But you claim no responsibility, cause it's each to himself in these times that we live. Does God have a sense of humor? Then the joke's on us, cause we're chasing our tails for how long? The tussle makes us house drunk, vintage poor people's fun. If we could ease up on these booze and fags, then just maybe life wouldn't seem so mad. Be a man, my dad said, but what the hell he know? He lost these dreams, he lost his flow, and I don't wanna be alone. I'm born king, so where's my throne? I'm too intense, I'm too deep, I'm too nice for life. So what makes this place so nervous?
I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when and I'll take it till my tard is. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest? I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when and I'll take it till my tard is. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest? I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children.
claim none. We're searching for Jesus, but I'll be damned if I'll be crucified. 10,000 spies, compulsive lies. They hate me, they love me, they hate me. Cause I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when, and I'll take you to my TARDIS. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest?
Nice one, Giles.